Most people spend weeks planning what to pack for a cruise and still walk off that gangway wearing exactly the wrong thing. And look, nobody's going to hand you a rule book at the terminal, but some of these mistakes, they can get you turned away from dinner, stopped at the port, or worse, make you the story everyone's telling at the captain's table. So let's talk about what not to wear on the ship and off it. Here's one that genuinely surprises people. Camouflage print, the kind you'd wear on a casual hiking day, is actually illegal in several Caribbean and international ports unless you're active military. We're talking real fines, real consequences. Some cruise lines quietly mention this in their policies. Most passengers never see it. You can pack it and wear it on the ship all you want, but the moment you step off into port, leave it in the cabin. It's simply not worth the risk. This one's a little more delicate. An upside-down pineapple isn't just a fruit pattern. It's a well-known signal within a certain adult lifestyle community, and it's become common enough that wearing it without knowing what it means has led to some very awkward conversations on board. The safe move? If you're not intentionally sending that message, skip the pineapple prints altogether. There are plenty of tropical patterns that won't raise eyebrows. Pools are for the pool deck. The buffet is not an extension of the pool deck. When you move from the sun into the interior of the ship, especially any dining area, you are expected to have a proper cover-up on. Not a towel loosely wrapped, an actual cover-up. And this part matters. Walking into a buffet soaking wet, dripping across the floor, will likely get you turned away by staff. It's also, and let's be honest here, just uncomfortable for the people around you who are trying to eat. Bare feet in dining areas? Also a firm no on virtually every cruise line. Now, here's where it gets interesting because the next few points, these are the ones that actually cause real friction on board. Staff have to enforce them every single sailing, passengers argue. Sometimes it gets escalated. Stick with me, because if you're planning a cruise, especially a longer one, this next section could save you a genuinely embarrassing moment. Even with a cover-up, there's a line. Sheer mesh cover-up over a bikini does not meet the dress standard for the main dining room, especially in the evening. This is one that Modern Ds deal with on literally every sailing. And yes, some guests argue. And yes, those guests still get redirected to guest services and still don't get seated. The evening dining room has a standard. It doesn't need to be a gown, but it needs to be actual clothing. The bathrobe situation, let's address it directly. Yes, the robe in your cabin is wonderful. Wear it on your balcony. Order room service in it. That's exactly what it's for. But walking into the buffet or any restaurant in a bathrobe is considered poor etiquette on every major cruise line. It's been enforced. Guests have been politely asked to return to their cabin and change. Slippers outside the cabin? Same energy. Pajamas are a touch more nuanced. Younger teens grabbing a late-night slice of pizza, that's generally fine. But for the rest of us, the ship is a nice environment. We'd treat a good restaurant on land the same way. Same standard applies here. This one doesn't show up on any official dress code, but it came up overwhelmingly in conversations with experienced cruisers. Ships have enclosed spaces, elevators, dining rooms, theater-style show lounges. When someone nearby has applied fragrance generously, there's simply nowhere to go. Many passengers have genuine sensitivities or allergies. A light touch goes a very long way. This is one of those unspoken etiquette points that the most seasoned cruisers already know. Before we move forward, tell us in the comment which trip you are laning this year. This one is in the written policy of several major cruise lines, and it is enforced, though inconsistently. Men in shorts in the main dining room, particularly in the evening, will sometimes be turned away. It depends on the line, the ship, and frankly, the mater d on duty that's sailing. The practical advice: pack one pair of dress pants or dark jeans and a collared shirt. That combination gets you through almost every dinner situation on almost every cruise line, including specialty restaurants, on Norwegian, and others that have a minimum standard even without a formal dress code. 1. Outfit. That's all it takes to never have this problem. Even the most relaxed cruise lines, the ones with essentially no dress code, have a written policy against clothing with offensive language, explicit imagery, or inflammatory messaging. And this extends beyond profanity. Political statement clothing in a ship full of international guests from dozens of countries? You are almost guaranteed to create friction that nobody on vacation asked for, including you. Leave that at home, genuinely. It's in the dress code. It's also something people still do. The honest framing here is, if you see someone wearing a cap in the dining room and it bothers you, give them a moment of grace before forming an opinion. Some people are managing a health situation. Some have a reason that isn't visible. But if you're able to, and there's no particular reason you can't, removing the cap for dinner is considered proper etiquette. And it's the kind of small courtesy that keeps the overall atmosphere of a dining room feeling elevated. This one is purely practical, and it matters more than people think. Beautiful shoes that haven't been properly broken in, worn for a 5-hour dinner and show evening on a ship that is a miserable experience. And you won't wear them again for the rest of the sailing. Test your shoes before you travel. And make sure everyone, especially children, has at least one pair of proper closed-toe shoes. Certain ship activities, shore excursions, and port experiences require them. Sandals and slip-ons won't always be sufficient, and you don't want anyone sitting something out because of footwear. The ship is safe, the port is not always the same story. Visible, expensive jewelry, gold chains, statement pieces, anything that signals value from a distance, makes you a target in busy port areas. This is not alarmist. It is a documented reality in several popular cruise destinations. Use the safe in your cabin, or leave valuables at home entirely. If it's sentimental, it especially doesn't belong in a crowded port market or on a busy tender dock. One incident can define the memory of an entire trip. So there it is, 11 things that can quietly derail your cruise experience before you've even unpacked. None of this is about being the fashion police. It's about knowing the rules before you're standing at the dining room entrance being redirected. It's about enjoying every part of the trip, the dinners, the ports, the evenings, without a single avoidable hiccup. If this helped you, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people planning their next sailing. And subscribe to Cruisify for more honest, practical cruise guides, new content every week, fair winds, and happy cruising.